You get started. Good evening and welcome to October CEC 20 calendar meeting. We are here tonight at Montauk Middle School, which is overseen by Principal Andrew Frank. Thank you so much for hosting us. Recording Secretary, can you please take roll call?
No,
you can take a roll call.
I can do it.
Yes. So we start take a roll call. John.
Here.
Here. Wendy Chen. Here. Na here. Mei Fang. Mei
Yes.
Fang.
Yeah.
Stephen. Fabiola. Fabiola.
Okay.
Tamara. Here. Harry. Ken. Alina. Here. Kevin.
Yeah. We're good. Is that it?
So Ken not here, yeah, and Fabiola not here.
Tonight we have interpretation in Arabic, Mandarin, and Spanish. You should see these interpreters' names in the participant list, and they will post their information in the chat. They will now share directions for anyone who needs interpretation for the meeting. Could our Arabic interpreter please introduce yourself?
Good afternoon. This is the introduction for Arabic interpretation. أهلا بكم ومساء الخير وأهلا في حضوركم معنا اليوم. اللي يحب يحصل على الترجمة باللغة العربية من فضلك عليك الاتصال بالرقم. Please allow the interpreter just for a moment to have the number clear. الاتصال والحصول على الترجمة باللغة العربية عليك لو سمحت الاتصال بالرقم 347 966 4114 وبعد كده إدخال الرمز 684 006 024 وعلامة الشباك. مرة تانية هعيد عليك رقم التليفون للاتصال والحصول على الترجمة باللغة العربية. اتصل ب347 966 4114 بعد كده دخل الرمز 684 006 024 وعلامة الشباك. شكرا وأهلا بكم. The Arabic announcement is completed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arabic interpreter. Could our Mandarin interpreter please introduce yourself?
大家晚上好，如果需要口译员的翻译服务，请拨打电话号码347-966-4114，并输入 ID 号618-616-5118井号。电话号码再重复一遍，347-966-4114，并输入 ID 号618-616-5118井号。请在语言线上保持静音。非常感谢大家的合作。Mandarin announcement has been made. You may now proceed.
Thank you so much, Mandarin interpreter. Could our Spanish interpreter please introduce yourself?
Hola, hola, muy buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Les ofrecemos en esta reunión del Consejo de Educación del Distrito 20 un servicio de interpretación simultánea del inglés al español. Si desean escuchar en español, tendrán que llamar por teléfono marcando el 347-966-4114 y a continuación introducir el siguiente código de conferencia: 833-563-028, símbolo numeral. Repito, para escuchar la interpretación al español por teléfono, marquen el 347-966-4114 e ingresen el código de conferencia 833-563-028, símbolo numeral. Les pedimos que silencien, por favor, los micrófonos de todos sus dispositivos a llamar para evitar ruidos de fondo o ecos que podrían molestarles a los intérpretes o a los demás oyentes. Muchas gracias. End of announcement for Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Spanish interpreter. Thank you. As a reminder to speakers, please try to speak slower than usual to allow interpreters to keep up. Now we will share the agenda for tonight's calendar meeting. Kevin, can you please?
Read it out.
Okay. First, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Call to order. Public speaking session. Presentation from Stephen M. Hirsch at CISO's Senior Cybersecurity and Chief Policy Advisor. Next will be a presentation from Lisa Upang, the Office of Multilingual Learners. Next one would be presentation from Gregory Folk, panel for Education Policy Chairperson. Then a report from the superintendent. The next would be presentation from neighborhood coordinator offices from Transit District 34 and the sergeant. Next would be a resolution 3, equip every teacher and staffer with a silent panic button system. Next would be second public speaking session, then the approval of the September calendar meeting minutes. I will now share instructions for our public speaking sessions. If you would like to speak, you can sign up on the Google form on our website, and the link has been shared in the chat. If you are in person, you can sign up using a sign-in sheet up front.
Just come up. Or just come
Or
up.
just come up.
Yeah. What?
Recognize.
Well, we didn't even do this session yet. We have 2 people online. Do you want to speak?
Well, I want Dennis to go first. If he's
Oh, this
on.
is the public speaking session, then the presentation.
Oh, that's Hirsch.
Whatever you want me to do.
He's going to do a presentation.
Yeah, but we didn't do the public speaking session. There's 2 people. This is the
Okay,
presentation.
so-
Yeah.
So we
This
did
is something else. This is for the public to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the first one is Lingzi Chen. If you're online, you can unmute yourself.
Are you call me?
No, now you can. Sorry.
Okay.
If no one's online, does anyone in person want to speak? Okay, so now you can move on to the presentation.
I would like to recognize several guests here with us. Superintendent Dr. David Preto, Family Leadership Coordinator Bill Chin, Family Support Coordinator Sylvia Jasinski, FACE Representative Ina Kresnik. Do we have anybody in
The vacancy. Oh, William Colton is online.
and Assemblyman William Colton? Laura's here?
Yeah, Laura's here. She's not here.
Okay. Laura Kaiser's here as well. All right, so can we please stand? Your shirt. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first presenting speaker of the night will be Stephen Hirsch from CISO Senior Cybersecurity and Chief Policy Advisor. Can you please step up, sir?
Mr. President, Mr. Superintendent, thank you for having us. My name is Stephen Hirsch. I work for the Chief Information Security Officer for the DIIT within the Department of Education. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. For us, cybersecurity is an everyday event for us. But what we're seeing now more and more in social media, and we're very much aware of it, is that students today are using social media, and we're seeing more and more students dying in subway actions. The DOE does a very good job in communicating and monitoring what goes on our network. But what we're more concerned about is what parents are doing and what our students are doing in social media. We monitor it, we react to it, but we need you to be more partners with us. Our applications are secure. We do constant reviews. We have a 24/7 security operations command center. We monitor it. We work with our partners in the FBI, Secret Service, NYPD, and state police all the time. but we need you, the parents, to take a more active role in talking to your child, finding out what they're doing in social media, asking them how they're using social media. Because to us, every child lost is a grave indifference to us. We care about it. We have 975,000 students in the DOE. We are the largest school system in the nation, second in the world. Australia beats us by 100,000. That's not enough. We can't afford to lose a child. We have 1.5 million users in the DOE system every single day. We watch it, we monitor it. iPads, laptops, cell phones are critical to us and critical to our teachers. We need to make sure that you use it and you do it smartly. When parents use credit cards in order to buy purchases, we worry that that information can get out to bad actors. We encourage you to use virtual credit cards that are offered by your banking institutions. This way you can set a credit limit and you can watch that monitoring very carefully. Making sure that your computers that you have at home have the latest software. Make sure that even your laptops have the latest software. New York City Cyber Command, where I came from before I left the Department of Defense, has a very good tool in order to put it on your smartphones that will watch the monitoring of your individual devices. I encourage you to go to the OTI website, to New York City Cyber Command, and download that particular product. It's free. No one sees it except for you. It's not monitored by federal, state, or city, but it's something that is free for you to monitor yourself. This is something that's very important to us within the DOE. You know, we've got presentations material relating to make sure that you have multi-factor authentication on all of our vendors. We do about 1,500 vendor assessments a year. Myself and my team do all the IT security assessments that we do to make sure that the products that the schools are buying are cyber safe. Every application that the DOE launches, and we are not on the city network. If the city network goes down, you are safe and secure. We are on our own network. We are hot between two sites. Every application goes through an intensive security review. It does not go out the door. My big concern right now is I'm seeing too much activity in social media. You know, and for us, cyberbullying, we're seeing it, we're looking at it, we're working with our partners to help mitigate it. But I need everybody to take an active stance on it. So, you know, the presentation we can do whenever you guys want, but I'm just more concerned the fact that we're not seeing the negative press. The media is not giving it the attention it needs. The only time we see it is when a child is lost. That's not good. We had an incident this morning on the J train at 7:30 this morning coming across the Williamsburg Bridge where two students decided they were going to subway surf. But thanks to my colleagues at NYPD, they saw it, they reacted, and transit was able to stop it before the train even left the station. That would have been 2 more deaths. We can't accept that. So the DOE is taking a more active role in working with our community partners, with our community-based organizations, our MTACs, in order to ensure that we help educate our students. But we need the parents to take that as well. So I'm open for questions.
Council members, do you have any questions for Mr. Hirsch?
Sure way.
As a parent, you know, that have like older kids who, like, I've had the conversation about subway surfing, like with my kids. I have 2 college students and a high schooler. When subway surfing became this thing, my kids, it wasn't prevalent when my kids were younger. You know, like we see it more. As a parent, is there any way like we could start like a parent initiative? That way we could take some of the weight off of you guys, because they have to be getting the information from us as well. It shouldn't just be coming from the school. We also have to piggyback as parents. And like, what can we do to make sure that we're having these conversations with our children and they understand? Because I remember when I was a kid, we had like the Scared Straight, you know, initiative, and like that was scary. when, having those conversations, have people that have been through, the situation they've been through, and sitting down and have a conversation with you about what they went through and this is not what to do. Is there any way that we could have something similar, like something like, I guess, like a kid that, they maybe got hurt but survived, like, because they need to understand that, like, it's not a game. You don't have another life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what can we do?
So I can tell you what's going on within DIIT, what's going in within the Chief Information Security Officer's office. But I could also tell you what my conversations are with my partners at the MTA and NYPD. But I also know we had a conference call the other day with 220 community-based organizations throughout the 5 boroughs. And we've implored them, as they do their in-house training, their in-house communications to just the students and teachers, but also ask them to bring this up to that level. Now, the MTA will be doing a brand new media campaign. It's starting in 2 weeks. I think it's a little too late. But this is where the DOE is taking a more active role. The chancellor has already said at her last internal meeting that she's asking all the deputy chancellors to come together and put together a program that can go out to all the superintendents for them to share with parents, share with the community. But this is something that has gotten way out of hand and has not gotten the attention. So in our organization, considering we're monitoring what's going on, we're seeing it, we're reacting to it, but we've got to do more to get the message out. We're also seeing that the cyberbullying activity is creeping up again. It went up 23% in the past 2 weeks. And we're watching social media. So we see that, and we're alerting our federal and state partners, as well as our community-based organizations, that we need to do more about cyberbullying. We have too many kids that will do something because they want the extra peer recognition. It's something, I'll give you a quick little story. My son graduated from Stuyvesant High School. His very best friend, because she did not get into the university she wanted, that her parents expected, decided to slit her wrist in the classroom. The parents wanted her to go to Harvard. She got accepted to Princeton on a full scholarship. She decided to slit her wrist. Now, thank God my son, like me being an EMT, took first aid, and the kids all went and saved her life. The parents didn't even think it was important enough because she didn't get into Harvard. Princeton wasn't good enough. We had an incident a year ago in the Lower East Side where a kid was cyberbullied and he jumped right by the Brooklyn Bridge. We're not doing it. We're not doing our jobs. So yes, the DOE is taking a stand. The cybersecurity team is taking a stand, but we need more help. The funding is there, I have to tell you. Talking to my colleagues at Microsoft and Google and IBM, they're willing to do a media campaign. I just got off the phone at 6 o'clock this morning with the head of IBM Cyber Command. And he said, Steph, we'll do it for you. You tell me how you want it, and we'll put it in the cyber range. But this is something that it needs more and more attention, and we're just not getting it. So for us, we're taking the lead on it. We know the chancellor is very serious about it. The first deputy mayor for public safety and Kaz is on this like white on rice. He knows this, he wants to do something also. So it's reached the highest levels within the municipal government, within state government. The head of cyber for the state, in Colin Ahern, who's my partner in cyber, has said, Steph, we'll put out a media campaign. Tell me what you want. But we need the grassroots. We need the parents to be able to monitor what their kids are doing. I mean, I know it's hard. They don't always want to talk to their parents about what they're doing on social media. They always don't want to show what they're doing on their laptops. I get it. For us, we're watching it. We're alerting the principals when we see something, we're saying something. there are benefits out there for the kids. You know, we do have great psychologists running around within the DOE that can come into a school and can help educate these kids why it's bad. But unless the parents raise their hands and say, we want to be active participants, it's just going to be money out the door. And for me, that's unacceptable. You know, I can't afford to lose one child. Yes, ma'am, you have your hand up.
I just have a response, and I would just want to be really clear that it is not just the parents' responsibility, and big tech needs to be held accountable. So if you're asking about what people want, I think it's disingenuous to put that all on the parents if they're supposed to solve this problem. There should be regulation of addictive algorithms, which New York State did just pass a law about that. But it should not be legal for big tech companies to feed kids addictive algorithms. So if you have a line to people,
with all due respect, ma'am, I'm not going to get into the politics of Google, Microsoft, you know, what they do. I will tell you that the information security teams talk to each other, and we're trying to develop programs that are more user-friendly, should I say. Now, I can't get into, listen, I'm a first-year law student at Georgetown, so I'm first learning what the law is, all right? If Congress would enact what they should have enacted 2 years ago, you probably would have seen a lot different right now what's going on. You know, so for us, we can work with our media partners and we can say to them, we need to really watch what's going on in their networks. You know, it is a partnership. Is it 100% the parent? No, it's 100% everybody. But I also need my legislature to step in and write restrictive laws, right? And for me, you've got a mayoralty election coming up right now. You got a lot of members of your city council that are up for re-election. You have a gubernatorial election next year. Maybe it's time to put pressure on our elected officials and say to them, it's time for them to step up. Dan Goldman is a pretty decent congressman. He is open to ideas, right? Chuck Schumer, for his good or his bad, his staff will listen. But you've got to get it through to them why this is important. You know, our tech companies are about making money for their shareholders. I understand that. I don't always agree with it.
But I think the problem is that so I think that, so first of all, thank you very much for being here. This is something that weighs on me all the time, and it's been absolutely weighing on me since the latest subway surfing incident. And so I think any conversation we can have about this is incredibly important. I do think that you're absolutely right that the conversation needs to focus on what is happening on social media. And one of the ongoing concerns that I have is that the way that social media works now, you can't monitor it because because the algorithm is trained to take data about kids and feed them different things than it feeds adults. When I watch what's advertised to my son is completely different. What's advertised to my daughter, what's advertised to me. And so I think that one of the big problems, which John showed us the other day, is that there's this TikTok that is being shown to 13, 14, 15-year-old kids in New York City about why subway surfing is cool. And we will never see that TikTok because it'll never be on our algorithm, right? And so I think that absolutely, you're 100% right. Parents who have conversations with their kids who need to know what they're doing, but also we can't deny the fact that like the way that they're maximizing profit for their shareholders is by turning our kids into data and into guinea pigs. And for me, that's something that's very germane to a lot of the conversations that I hope we can have in partnership with you and in partnership with other organizations in terms of how to keep our kids safe. This also is very germane, I think, to something that we'll be talking about over the next few months, which is the way that AI also does the same thing. And so we've had numerous instances of kids being coached on how to kill themselves because of relationships with AI. And as I tried to get, and so I guess the question that I have for you, and maybe it's not your office, that's the right one to ask, but as I tried to get more information about how AI is being rolled out in schools and what's that look like, I've heard that there's an NDA that's been signed that doesn't allow for the disclosure of what type of AI is being used in our schools and what schools it's being used in. And as a parent, that makes me really worried if we're protecting.
So let me answer that, okay? So New York State, and some of it does fall within my realm because I do the cybersecurity assessments for all third-party vendors. So any school that is looking to buy a third-party product through IRMA and the OneTrust tool falls upon me and another gentleman to do the security assessment. If the vendor selects that there is AI in any part of it, it goes through an even more intensive review because AI is a platform. You put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. AI is nothing new. AI was going back to 1990 when we were doing Y2K in the Department of Defense. We had AI, we had data lake. This is nothing new. It's a new buzzword out in the community, yes.
But it is being used in a different way. So my question is there an NDA that's being signed that's allowing?
Yes, so let me get in. I wish Dennis was on. Dennis is our Chief Data Privacy Officer, and he and his team work with us when we do third party. There is a NDA and a DPA, an NDA non-disclosure agreement and a DPA, a data processing agreement. They use that and we mirror it against, we have our own AI policy within the DOE. It's even more restrictive and more intense than the state policy. All right, so we know the schools are buying AI products. We're also monitoring the vendors on an annual basis that they are doing what they're saying that they are doing. If not, we're cutting them out.
So I guess as a parent, my question is like, how do we know what this is looking like at the school level? Like, how do we know, and as a representative of the CPC,
Right.
how do we know what this looks like on a district level?
What?
So you tell me that like you're making sure that it's rigorously tested, but maybe your standards don't match what my standards are. So I guess my question is like, how do I know what tools are being tested on my kids?
Well,
if you're signing this NDA, like we have to vet like.
Hey, Dennis,
licenses, right?
so let me do this. So when it comes to that. Can I cut you off for 1 second? Sure.
Hi, everyone. I had a hard time hearing the question there. I'm Dennis Doyle. I'm the Chief Privacy Officer.
No, just give me 1 second, Dennis. Should be okay now. Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay, you can speak now.
Yeah, I was just saying I couldn't hear the question. But I mean to Steph's point, I think the question was about AI use in DOE, and we do have strict data processing agreements in place with all of our third-party vendors that are accessing student information. And that includes any vendor that's going to be using AI to process student information. And like Steph said, we have specific AI provisions relating to how they can use AI, including not training any sort of AI model on student data. We have an AI questionnaire that we give to our third-party vendors to better understand how they're using AI. Vendors are obligated to notify us when they make a change in use of AI. So this is something that we're monitoring very closely, and we're very attuned to the to the risks that are associated with use of AI. And we want to make sure, and we do make sure that we have like the appropriate legal agreements in place to protect our student information.
So this is the last question that I'll ask, because I know we have a lot to talk about tonight, but there's just a report that was published today that talks about how at schools where AI is being used, there's like a tenfold increase in the amount of cyberbullying that's happening and the amount of self-harm that's happening. And so my concern both as a parent and as a member of this board is I'm happy that you have an AI questionnaire, but I really would like a much more robust understanding of which children are being used as guinea pigs for AI technology and where that's being integrated into classrooms. And when I hear the word NDA, what that tells me is that no one will tell us when our children are being subjected to AI. And I think that that's something that parents have a right to know. And I just think that this is a conversation that is worth having. What is the DOE's policy on AI? Like, how is the conversation about cyberbullying and AI being used happening in the same rooms, right? Like, I think that these are things that are important for bodies like ours to be having conversations about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are all really good questions. I mean, I'm the chief privacy officer for New York City Public Schools, so I mean, my focus is specifically on issues relating to student privacy. And I have a short presentation I can give on that a little bit later. But I think on the broader questions that you're asking, I know that we have like an AI task force that's being stood up at New York City Public Schools that are looking into all these issues and all of the different facets of using AI, student privacy being just one small piece of that. And then we have also a data privacy working group that we convened earlier in this year to work on matters relating to data privacy, including the use of AI and how the intersection of AI and privacy in particular. So those are the issues that I'm involved in, and I know just as a whole, our agency is focused on developing a more robust policy when it comes to AI and how we're going to be able to use this responsibly in our schools, use it in a way that protects student privacy, mitigating bias, and all the other concerns that you mentioned there. But again, just from my own personal point of view, I can only really speak to the privacy issues when it comes to the use of AI in schools.
My actual last question, I really was, that AI working group hasn't met though, right? Even as these AI policies are being rolled out, I know some people that are on it that say that that AI group that exists in theory actually hasn't met to start doing that kind of advisory. Is that?
I mean, I don't sit on the AI subcommittee working group for the data privacy working group. The subcommittee I think has met though. I mean, I would have to check on that for you though.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
And I add one thing. So when a school decides to buy a product that they know has AI, I think there's got to be a level of transparency to both you, the parent, and to the administration within the school, as well as to an outstanding superintendent who is really one of the best that we have in the city, that he needs to be aware of the fact that this is happening so he can communicate and he can work with the principals and go, why are you buying this product? If there's already a product out there that has already been approved in the IRMA process, so you don't have to go through the 6 months to get it, use that, understand what the tools are. Yes, there are schools throughout, middle schools and high schools throughout the city of New York that are using AI. They're finding it beneficial, but there's got to be guardrails on it. And with Dennis and his team, us and our team, what we're looking at to make sure that the guard rules are there. But when the school purchases it, if they don't know that it's got AI and only we find out, then there's a gap there. And then we go back to whoever the requester is and say, are you aware that you're buying a product that has AI and it's got to go through the AI questionnaire and it may get rejected because it does not meet the standards that the DOE has, the state has, or that NIST standards or federal standards that we have. So I think there's a partnership when it goes through. Schools can also buy products under $25,000. It doesn't go through our process. Are you asking that same question of that principal or whoever the requester is? Because to me, if I don't see it, I don't know about it. until maybe it hits the DOE network and all of a sudden I've got to either whitelist it so it can get in. So it's a partnership, right? And it's perfectly raised question. Everybody's got to have the hand on this because AI is not new. Cyberbullying has become, as you know, and I know, we're seeing it more and more. But, technology at the DOE is at the greatest level right now. We're doing new and innovative stuff every single day. Our CIO has charged us to be better than what we are. But for us, we're only as good as the information we get. We get from our partners. We get feedback from all of you. One of the reasons why I'm here in person, I live in Lower Manhattan. I came out here because I want to hear what your concerns are, because I can bring it back to our team and go, what do we need to do better? Is the Wi-Fi in this school up to standards? Is the technology there in order to help the teachers, to help our students? I have 975,000 children. Every single one of them is mine. And I take this very seriously. That's why I left the federal government and the military to do this. Because this is where I was born and raised here. No base in Bergen Beach is where I grew up. I traveled the world from the military and I came back home. My wife is a Brooklyn Tech grad. I'm a Stuyvesant grad. You want to get into competition? We used to do that all the time. But to me, every child is important to us. And I got to make sure the technology is there so they can compete globally for a good paying job.
Okay, wait, I wanted to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
It is a collaborative effort, but we shouldn't really blame the parents, because I heard from a lot of people that the girl that just passed away, her parents really do feel guilty. And research shows that in middle school and high school, your peers are more important than your parents. So you could do the best you can as parents, and the kids will still sneak out and do what they're gonna do. So I just want to put that out there. Like, we can't blame the parents. Yes, it is our position to monitor our kids, but they will leave and they will do things without telling us. And, they respect their peers more than their parents. So I just want to put that out there, because there's a lot of guilt on the parents' part. And I feel as a parent, we shouldn't give them more guilt and more blame game.
Then how do we help the parent? So this is where I'm going to twist it and I'm going to go, okay, I'm just one person sitting in an office with 60 very highly skilled, trained technical professionals. How do we help then everyone lower that level?
It's by banning phones in schools, right? Like one of the biggest things that helped us is banning phones in schools from bell to bell. Like, one of the ways that I think we help us is by giving us the same sort of physical protections that exist for our kids. You give us the cyber protections to exist for our kids as well, by saying, no, you cannot use these kids. You can't use your 975,000 kids as guinea pigs. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I think, but like,
No.
that's
okay.
my.
But let me tell you something, like some of these kids, they post already on social media what they were gonna do. And some of these kids actually posted, like 2 weeks ago, there was a gun in a Queen school. That kid posted it. It was other kids that saw it on their social media feed that alerted the teacher. And that is why they were able to stop whatever the kid was planning to do. I'm saying.
Right, that's where
it's
the FBI command center in Quantico, Virginia saw it, notified the NYPD intelligence unit, notified the cyber unit within NYPD at the big house. And then everybody was on the phone to each other, and that's why sector cards were rolled. So yes, there is Big Brother watching at some point, but sometimes even that could be dangerous, because we always don't want Big Brother watching. So there's got to be some sort of balance where when a child or a student uses social media and makes a threat, and either one, we work with our partners in the tech firms to alert us. Sometimes we have our good partners on the federal and the state side will see it and they'll alert the right authorities. And then sometimes there's this bridge, when are we overstepping our bounds? So, you know, we're a very much a democratic society. We're a free and open society. And sometimes that's not always the best. But from the DOE side, and I can only talk about within our own organization, we are taking this very, very seriously. We see something, we say something. We work hand in glove with our incident response teams. And we're just trying to see what we can do better within the confines of the law, that we are not overstepping our bounds. So yeah, you're right. I said parents, because I have to look at my parents first and say, how do I support you? Since, you know, you have a tool now that you can monitor when your child gets on a bus or not. That's brand new and it works really well. We did not have that when we had the snowstorm during the de Blasio administration and parents didn't know where their kids were. It took years, we got it fixed. I know I'm finished if you guys are finished with me.
It's the app that you said that we could download to monitor.
So
That was
go
great.
to OTI, Office of Technology Innovation, go to Cyber Command. They have a app there that you can download to your smartphone. And if you want, John, I'll get you the URL.
And also, another question, do you
Sure.
have a direct number that students and parents could call if they see something like, very like a warning sign on social media? Is there a direct line that they could contact you guys?
I know we have our Security Operations Command Center. I don't know if that's the right vehicle, but I can take that back and find out.
And then we
Mr.
could
President, I'll
post
get
it,
you
and
that.
so then that your campaign, like your friend's campaign, it should say, if anybody sees something,
Right.
say something.
Well,
Something
you
like
have
that.
that right now already
Yes.
with NYPD, with the MTA, you know, as far
On
as what
social
they're
media.
on social media. That tool is being monitored 24/7 by both NYPD and the MTA. They are watching that as well. We know our federal partners are doing a good job in monitoring. That's how we found out about the issue in Queens. But I think what you're asking is, when a parent sees something, who do they really call? Who is the right resource to call? Is it the DOE? Is it NYPD? You know, also, are we just going to send members of the department over when we really need someone who has more of a psychology background that can talk to, so we don't have people committing suicide and jumping on train tracks? Sir, I know you had a
No,
question.
we can't take questions from the audience.
No?
No, we're not allowed.
Oh, we're not allowed? I'm sorry.
So in regards to the cybersecurity presentation, are you gonna do that or
No,
move past it?
we can move
Okay.
past that because that's something you could share with the community.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
So as of right now, we're gonna call on Superintendent Dr. Preto for his report.
Steve speak and then good because
Who's Steve?
for the assembly office, the senator's office.
Uh-oh.
And then it was, they're gonna wait.
Candidate Shu, can you please come up? The senior advisor from Assemblyman Lester Chang's office.
5 and 6 are no longer here.
We're gonna have to switch it up.
You could just come here to this laptop, please. All right, you're good to go.
I'll make this brief. On behalf of China, I thank council for
أنا سأكون مختصرا وقتا.
this Friday, as a member, along with the council, Paul, Colton, Chan, having a press conference in front of, excuse me, sorry, PS 205, in support of gift and payment programs. Second, we are aware of the subway surfer, one of the victims. Actually, I'm gonna go to McKinney. We just wanted the council know, and if people know the family, our office is here to assist them if they need any assistance. And I've been hearing about this bullying, whether it's the traditional form or the new form or through AI or whatever, it's not tolerated. We believe that it takes a community, not just parents, but also teachers, the school, their classmates and elected officials if we need to propose laws to help them. Our office is here to help. So feel free to contact us. And again, thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to call on
Superintendent
Superintendent
Dr.
Dr.
Fredo
Fredo to do his report.
Thank you. And I want, before I do my report, I'm going to be reporting on just some timely pieces that are coming up that are important for parents, middle school parents who are applying for high school applications, and also a shift in the SHSAT exam, which is going digital this year. So I'm going to describe some of those components, but I want to acknowledge I've invited some of my colleagues. I've invited Kevin Danster from the Office of Safety and Youth Development. He's also invited some partners from the MTA. I know we have some officers here from the NYPD who are all here to talk about subway surfing. So I know that this is going to be a big topic. So I'm going to just run through these shifts and then we'll get to that conversation around subway surfing. So the high school application process, I'm going to share my screen real quick here. So the high school application process has launched actually since yesterday. And since yesterday, all the following things have begun. So high school application, obviously, the LaGuardia application, and the specialized high schools admissions test registration all opened yesterday. Friday, October 31st is when the specialized high school test registration closes. Wednesday, December 3rd is when high school and LaGuardia applications close. And then Thursday, March 5th is the high school offer release date. Something new this year is the specialized high school test will go digital. So all students who are taking that specialized high school test will take it digitally. Just going to walk through some of the things that parents can expect with that and some of the modifications that can occur. So first, the test will move to a digital online format and will include technology enhanced items such as drag and drop, fill in the blank, and hotspot types. There are still two sections, ELA and math, and each section will have 57 questions, which is similar to previous years. And it is still a 3-hour exam with extended time for students with accommodations, and this is similar to previous years. This shift is aligned to local, state, and national trends in assessment. It will increase supports for English language learners and students with disabilities and overall universal supports for all students. There will be options to include question formats beyond multiple choice for the first time. There will be very limited typing required, however, and families can access practice questions, the prep guide, and tutorials for student readiness on the New York City Specialized High School Achievement Test portal. All supplies will be provided by New York City Public Schools. Students don't have to bring anything to the test. Paper will still be able to be used for scrap paper, and students who have IEPs or 504 accommodations that require paper pencil tests will be supported. And students will continue to receive a single composite score that's used to rank order for admission to the specialized high schools. So big picture, specialized high school exam will this year be done digitally. Schools will engage students in the fall in a readiness tutorials so that students who are going to be taking the test get a little practice with it. And parents can register for the specialized high school test in 3 ways. You can register on My Schools. You can have your student's guidance counselor register for you, or you can visit the Family Welcome Center at 415 89th Street, and you can have the Family Welcome Center support you in getting registered. And the test in New York City for New York City Public School students will take it on November 12th. And finally, in anticipation of the middle school application process, District 20, by request of parent leaders such as John Rigatoni, Josephine Cangelosi, Christina Shear, we will be holding a District 20 middle school fair. This fair will be held on Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, from 5 to 7 at PSIS 229. We're going to pop flyers for both the District 20 middle school fair, as well as a list of all the District 20 middle school open houses that each individual school holds. We're going to drop that link in the chat, and also that will be sent out by all schools' parent coordinators. And then finally, subway surfing and student safety. This is a big topic. As most folks in the district are aware, we lost a student in the district over the weekend to subway surfing. The student was a McKinley middle school student. And I just want to share briefly what the school and district did in response to support the school and the parents and the staff. And then I want to share just briefly what the school is doing in response to support and follow up with the rest of the school. And then I'm going to pass it over after that to my colleague, Kevin Dantzler, from Office of Safety and Youth Development, to just speak about what resources and connections and information is available for families. Once we had a presentation that was organized by Josephine Cangelosi from the President's Council in the spring on this topic of subway surfing. And this is not when we had lost a child. Now we've lost a child to this in the district, and I think it's incredibly important to make sure that everyone kind of absorbs it and we take it seriously as we do. And I really appreciate everyone knowing that NYPD is here, the MTA is here. Everyone's here to talk about this. So I really appreciate everyone recognizing the urgency. So what we did do at McKinley, we did support staff and students. We had guidance counselors available both from the school, and I want to thank Principal Geary. We have Assistant Principal Danielle Noto here in the audience, and the entire McKinley team, and especially the guidance counselors at McKinley who made themselves available all day and throughout the week for students, for staff. The UFT also makes resources and supports available for teachers on an as needed basis. But we made sure that guidance counselors and support was available for students and staff as this has evolved. The school has also organized with NYPD's School Safety Division to organize a series of presentations for students in the school, specifically on this topic. And I want to thank our partners again for just being really responsive and quick to make sure that this gets scheduled. The students at McKinley will engage over the course of early November all the way through December on presentations that speak to the dangers of subway surfing and really trying to make sure that this topic gets out there in the dialogue in the school. And, obviously the intention tonight is to do the same thing in the entire district. And that's why I invited my colleague, Kevin Dantzler, who's on when this happened. Mr. Dantzler works under Chief Rampersant in the Office of Safety, Youth, and Development and deals with the specific topic on behalf of New York City Public Schools. And I really appreciate him coming to kind of share his insights and whatever resources that the system has done to organize around this. So I'm going to pass it over to Kevin.
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Kevin, hold on one second. I think we're going to organize the sound. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening. Can everyone hear me okay? First of all, thank you so much for having me in your space. I also just want to offer condolences at the loss of your entire school community has suffered and experienced. And just thank you for allowing us to come here. I also want to thank my colleague, Chantel Cabrera, who's here from the MTA, who's been shoulder to shoulder with me in this work. Really quickly, because I know time is not on our side, I just want to share with folks some of the efforts that we've taken. There's an interagency working group on subway surfing that's been convening for the past 3 years, making efforts to do 3 things. Stop subway surfing through education, through enforcement, and through engineering. When it comes to education, New York City Public Schools, along with our partners at NYPD, the MTA, the Department of Youth and Community Development, and other agency partners, we meet to talk about how we can raise awareness about the dangers of subway surfing, the illegality of subway surfing. And to do that, we have presentations. As Superintendent just mentioned, we have presentations at schools for students and families. We have district-wide presentations. We have school-based presentations. And if anyone is interested in having a presentation at a school, for an elected official, at a CEC meeting, for students, for families, I put my information in the chat. You can reach out to me directly at that email address, and I will coordinate and liaise with all of my partners across the city to make sure that we provide information and presentations for families and for students and for staff. We also have materials, as you may have heard or seen in subway stations. There are posters, anti-subway surfing posters. We just had a refresh of that in September of this year, or late August, actually, forgive me. Rebranding and reinvigorating that particular campaign to raise awareness. We've also tapped in our students because all of our efforts are student informed. So our students provide announcements in all of the subway stations in the MTA's platforms, advising against the dangers of subway surfing. Partners at the MTA have also enlisted celebrities or anyone who we think may be an influencer or have relationship capital that they can leverage to get through to our young people, as well as to advise our families about the dangers of subway surfing. I also want to mention if anyone wants materials, meaning posters, palm cards, pamphlets, or any information, and once again, in-person visits to talk about the dangers of subway surfing and to make families aware of some of the things they should look for with their young people, please let me know at the email address again that's in the chat, and I'll be happy to make sure that we are responsive. I don't want to take up too much time, so I want to turn the floor over very briefly to my colleague Chantel Cabrera from the MTA, so she can speak about some of the efforts the MTA has made regarding this campaign as well. Chantel?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. I echo Kevin's sentiments and offer my condolences as well. We at the MTA do believe that social media plays a big role in the just the normalizing of this behavior. So we have taken it upon ourselves to reach out to the platforms like YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram. And since that advocacy has started, we have pulled down over 14,000 posts related to subway surfing. We are also currently piloting an engineering solution and testing that in order to see if it is just design capacity can support the installation on train cars at this time, and we're continuing to do so. We have worked with our NYPD partners to help them in their efforts to use drones to identify young people who are potentially climbing on train cars. I believe, and we can check this with the NYPD, that they have intercepted 130 students in the act. And that to us is 130 students whose lives were saved. We continue to help them in their journey of understanding any trends. So we inform adults, trusted adults and students that if they see or suspect any subway surfing, that they should in fact call 911 and say to them their direction, what train line they're on, and the train car that they're riding in, so that every data point for the NYPD is an opportunity for them to understand the trend a little bit better. And I, along with NYPD partners and Kevin, have been facilitating presentations since 2023. And we have reached a variety of different stakeholders this year. We have been able to talk to over 1,400 community members, and we continue to work hand in hand to address the concerns of the community and our government partners.
Thank you, David.
Kevin,
Chantel, I want to thank you both for coming out and sharing as part of this horrible tragedy, and hopefully the resources are helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Superintendent.
Everybody else. Do we have any council members ask any questions? Stephen, go ahead.
As far as with technology, in my car, I have a camera in the front and a camera in the back. And I would imagine that, it's been identified where these areas are. I would guess most of it's on the elevated platforms. Is there any practicality of mounting some type of device on one of the cars that has a view, something that would then perhaps be visited using technology that we have? Because I guess you can identify where are these incidents happening on the elevated lines. So how can we use technology to help become aware of this? Obviously, when these people that have been rescued from this, people have been reporting it, but what about using technology? Similar to what we have on a car. So this way, if somebody's mounted in the car, getting up to the roof, the access. I know NYPD, they have cameras on the trains, right? So they have specialized units that are monitoring cameras throughout our city. So is that something that's being done? Is it being thought about being done using technology to see if you become aware of what someone's doing this? And I don't know if that's a very practical idea, but that's just a question I have.
So we do continue to explore all avenues in relation to engineering solutions, and new technology is always at the forefront of what we are doing at the MTA. There are constraints related to cybersecurity and things of that nature, but we are looking into new technology solutions.
Any other members? We're good? All right. Thank you so much. We're gonna move forward. Can we please have the NCO sergeant and the NCO officers please step up? They're gonna do a presentation. Their presentation, they're from the Transit District 34. Yeah, sure.
So the microphone camera, right here. The microphone and camera, please, wants to see, and you can just speak directly online and everything.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sergeant Rivera, Transit District 34. You can't? Sorry. Sergeant Rivera, Transit District 34. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been doing as a department in general. They kind of already explained, like, we have drones that it's a whole drone unit. They put the drones out if they catch any kids train surfing or doing anything like breaking into train cars. Sometimes they try to steal trains themselves. They've done that a couple of times. We had a couple of instances with that. It's been helpful in trying to identify them and catching them. Do we get them all the time? No, we don't. But we do end up finding out names, going to the schools, seeing where they got on, being able to track them down that way. When we do track them down, another thing that we do is that we do follow-up home visits. So I'll go with an officer, we'll meet up with the parent and the student, and we'll just talk to them, we'll ask them questions. A lot of times, what you'll see is, again, social media is a big influence. If you go online, you just type in any Instagram, TikTok, I did it this past weekend. Train surfing, train surfers, you see everything that they do. They don't just climb up on top of the trains. They go in the tunnels. They've been climbing the bridges. It's just been getting worse and worse. So we're just trying to do our best to figure out how to just stop it in general. It's been a struggle. But some of these kids just, it's curiosity. Last home visit I did, he's like, oh, my friends do it. So I just wanted to see what it was like. And then when I asked him, I was like, well, how was it? It was scary. Will you ever do it again? No. And then we talked to the mom. He's in our Explorer program now. And that's a program we offer to all the kids, high school, elementary. If they want to join us, we do community service. We take them out on trips, museums, even bowling, something to keep them busy, sometimes after school on Saturdays. Want to add anything?
We're pretty much go to a lot of the stations where the schools are closest to. So we pretty much have officers at some of the key stations. And we do a lot of outreach and we talk to the kids on a daily basis. And pretty much we just show our presence pretty much a lot, that know that they know that we're there also. So that's another key component we do also with the kids.
We are open to that. I can leave. We have pamphlets about train surfing. We have the contact information for the auxiliary and the explorer officer. We'll do the presentations ourselves. I'll leave my number. You could just give me a call. We could work on that. Anybody has any other questions?
And do you have rights to stop a young kid when you see them late at night? Like, obviously she was like 12 out at 10 o'clock at night. Do you guys stop them and try to get the parents?
We'll talk to them, we'll question them. We've done that. We have what we call end of line. So we cover Stillwell Avenue. So sometimes we'll see young kids on the train and they turn out to be runaways. They turn out to be missing, and we find them, we contact the parent, we return them to them.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay, so if you catch them on top of the trains and you get to them in time to take them over, what happens next?
So basically what we do is we'll bring them to the precinct, we contact the parent. We'll prepare a juvenile report and just release them to the parent. There's no real, unless they're repeat offenders or they've done something, like I said earlier, we had an incident at 36th Street where the kids literally got keys to the train and drove it just a little bit, just slightly, just a little bit. Yeah. That's something else that I'm working out because some of these kids are finding access to the keys to get onto the train. Don't know how it's been happening, but they're getting access to it. So we've been talking to the kids, trying to get information out. Sometimes they'll let us know when another student from the school is selling them, but then they don't give any more information. So it's been a process. It's been a process.
They found some on eBay, so but MTA removed it.
Yeah. Yeah, the internet is very different from when I was in high school. You can literally find anything and everything, and it's so much easier to meet other people from other schools. So like, for example, let's say two kids from one school want to fight, they'll promote it on Instagram. And next thing you know, you have kids from 3 or 4 different schools meeting up just to watch. And it makes it so much worse because the fight will get even bigger. So it's a struggle. We try to keep a hold of like, when we try to get information and then we'll send extra cops to that location for the day. And it helps here and there. I don't know if anybody else has any other.
Is that number right? She said before, is it about 130 kids that we found on top of games?
Last I checked in the summer about August, it was about 200. It's probably more. And there's, yeah. Some are repeat offenders. Like I said, I suggest go on Instagram and TikTok and Google it. Because after what happened this weekend, I was like, I just want to see just what are these kids seeing that makes it seem so interesting. And I was able to find both the girls' Instagrams. One of them did climb the bridge. One of them did climb the bridge. And I also saw videos of ex-train surfers. And they basically said like either they were influenced by other friends, that's how they found extra friends, or they were struggling at home. Things were going on, and that was their way of coping with it. It's like two sides of the coin.
Well, thanks for doing what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have any other questions from the members on the other side? No. Thank you so much, Sandy. If you have any brochures that you can leave
Yeah,
with us,
I'll leave
that'd be great.
And again, if anybody wants a presentation done with the kids, I'll leave my number in my card.
Yeah, that would be great.
Thank you.
Tell them that the best train that comes off is the 7 train, the best views.
Thank you so much, Sergeant and officers.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do. We have an elected official online, so we're going to call on him first, and then we'll work on the presentations. Mr. Assemblyman William Colton, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I would also like to thank the police officers who just spoke. I go on the subways very regularly, meeting people and giving out leaflets. And 2 years ago, I saw 2 children subway surfing, and I called 911. And I can tell you they did respond. It's very frustrating to them. And actually, these 2 children switched from the Manhattan-bound F train to the Coney Island-bound F train. But the police officers did respond. So it is a problem we have to deal with. And I commend CEC 20 for having this, these presentations about it. There are 2 things that I think parents will need to be alerted to as we approach this year in the school budget. One of them was, I think, referenced by Assemblymember Lester Chang's representative, which is the gifted programs in early childhood grades. I think these are very crucial. And I think, we're going to have to be very careful. I know there's been, some talk about it, but I think that we need to be careful and make sure that District 20 and all the districts make sure that we continue to expand on gifted programs. I have a piece of legislation on that. And on behalf of myself and Councilmember Susan Wong, we feel very strongly about that. Also, I think that we have to be very careful about the after-school programs. Last year, there were cuts made. We were able to get some additional monies, but they still didn't give it to the schools in District 20 and 21, which had existing programs and they were cut. I don't believe we should be disqualifying existing programs in schools where they exist and where parents are desperately need them in order to be able to keep working. I think that when you do that, you impoverish people. And that's something that's wrong. And I think, we may have to get some parent support in making that clear. Also, just a last point, that my office and the office of Susan Wang we've organized a children's book collection, and we're going to be distributing books free to children on the second Friday and the fourth Friday of each month in front of each of our offices. So this Friday, October 10th, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we are going to have in my office and Susan Wang's office. My office is 155 Kings Highway. We're going to be distributing books to children. I think it's very important that we make sure children get access to books, that they're encouraged to read books. And I think this will make a big difference. I think books open a world to children, and they really, supplement and strengthen what is going on in the schools. And we want to assist the schools in being able to do that. We've collected a lot of children's books, and we are going to be making distributions each month, the second and fourth Friday of each month from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in front of our offices. And we're going to be distributing them in some other places also, which we will make announcements about. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm very happy to see CEC 20 has very good presentations, and that, you do a great job in terms of advancing education of our children. And that's why the district does so well. You play a big part in that. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Assemblyman. Up next is a presentation from Lisa Umpang, Office of Multilingual Learners.
Hi, thank you so much. So my name is Momita Zaman. I'm here on behalf of Lisa and my team at the Office of Multilingual Learners. First and foremost, please accept my condolences and on behalf of my team and myself on this tragic loss that is being processed by your district. So it's really a privilege to just be here tonight with all of you and cover a little bit about our office and initiatives that we have that are for our families. So it is a little bit of a pivot in terms of content, and I'll try to go through it really quickly because we have a really packed agenda. If you want to stay connected with us, we'd love to have you fill out this form, which collects our attendance to let us keep you updated on family-facing initiatives and programs that we have through the Office of Multilingual Learners, which is a central office that oversees and helps support our English language learners, our multilingual learners, immigrant students, and as well as our bilingual education programs offered by New York City Public Schools. So Lisa could not be here tonight, but my name is, again, Momita Zaman. I'm the Associate Director of Multilingual and Immigrant Capacity Building. A lot of my work is educator-facing as well as family-facing, and making sure that our schools are equipped with resources, tools, and strategies to support our multilingual learners, our L students, and that they are equipped with and have connections to CBO partners that support a lot of our different language communities, particularly our low incidence language communities. And so if you are not familiar with the Office of Multilingual Learners or you're hearing about it for the first time, our mission is to empower our multilingual learners and immigrant students to ensure that they have equitable access to rigorous instruction and that we're setting high expectations in welcoming environment that affirms their various identities, including their racial, cultural, and linguistic identities, and that we have a very fierce belief in their diverse abilities so that they can experience a strong sense of purpose and belonging, and that they are graduating prepared for success in college, in career, and in life. We have three-pronged goals in terms of increasing the percentage of multilingual learners and immigrant students who meet grade level standards, who are making progress in English language proficiency annually and are graduating in 4 years. I wanted to highlight that multilingual families, L families, have their own distinct set of rights within New York City Public Schools. And so there is an orientation process for L families. Family members, guardians of students who have been identified as English language learners have the right to attend a high quality orientation that covers the following: the expectations of Ls at their child's schools. L stands for English language learners, testing, state standards, and that they receive a nuanced overview of programs for our students, our L students, covering the benefits of multilingualism, particularly our three different programs that we offer, which is dual language, transitional bilingual education, and English as a new language, which is the last one is the largest category in which our L students participate in and receive services in. So this orientation must be provided before the final program placement of the student and must be in the preferred language of the guardian, right? So once a student is identified as an L student, they have to go through this orientation process, and families should know and have a good understanding of the different offerings that we have within our programs for multilingual students, for L students, so that they are making an informed choice, what's right for their child and what's right for them as a family in terms of their goals and aspirations for their students. And then L students every year have what's called an annual parent meeting for Ls. This is required for each school on a yearly basis for each of their L students. It's a great opportunity for our English language learner families to meet individually with school staff, such as their teacher, their principal, or guidance counselor. This is an opportunity for them to discuss their child's progress, language development, services the school is providing, and other important programming information for their child. This meeting is not a substitute for other meetings that happen that such as like the initial parent orientation that I just spoke about, or the regular parent-teacher conference. This is in addition to, right? And this is to create a space to make sure that we're uplifting things that the families need to know in terms of their children making progress around English proficiency. Again, there is a Bill of Rights for families of multilingual learners, L students. It's on our New York City Public Schools website. There are 17 distinct rights of guardians or family members of multilingual learners and L students. It outlines many key policies to inform families, including that Ls have the right to receive English as a new language instruction at any school that they attend. This is again available on our website. There are also videos that are translated in our top languages that families can utilize, that schools can utilize to ensure that families are aware of what their rights are. This is a really great thing to push into your school communities and ensure that new families, existing families, that they receive this information, they know what their Bill of Rights are, and that there's a conversation around the ways in which families can advocate for their child and for themselves in their school community. One of the programs that we have that's direct to family is our Gen Connect program, which is an 8-week intergenerational program that brings multilingual students and their families together in a unique environment in order to foster and develop strong family bonds, advocacy, literacy, and social emotional support. Over the course of 8 weeks, students, multilingual or English language learning students, and a member of their family, their guardian, or their parent meet with other community members who have a shared language, other parent and student dyads who have the shared home language. And over those 8 weeks, their school will implement this program, and they cover a lot of different topics and themes to think about their education and planning for the future, and also creating those bonds when a lot of our immigrant families may not have the space for these conversations with their children. As someone mentioned before earlier in your meeting, that sometimes children are not speaking to their parents or not sharing information. This is a space where we're seeing unique engagement and bonding happening, not just across the parent and the child, but across a community of a language community that we're serving. So this flyer here is our interest form. There's a link here as well If folks are interested in recommending a school, please let your school know that this is a program that exists that we can bring to their school and we can train their staff to implement this. And we'll support in making sure that educators have the supplies and materials from the Office of Multilingual Learners. And so we do have open interest form right now. Schools can apply and we will be in contact with them. So we're happy to make sure that as ambassadors, as parent advocates, you are able to uplift this to your school communities in your district. And again, going back to our bilingual education programs, we have these brochures that are available at family welcome centers. It's available on our website, which really identifies and really breaks down the difference between our different bilingual education programs. Like I mentioned, dual language, transitional bilingual education, English as a new language. These are translated also in all of our top languages. And we have differentiated for elementary school, middle school, and high school, so that families have these resources as they're making a decision about where they want to place their L student. So this is something that we hope that your district, I'm pretty sure that you're also socializing this. This is helpful for families to make informed decisions. We want to make sure that you have access to these resources as you're going through family orientation or placement for students. So that's what I have for today. We also have our website for the Multilingual Immigrant Student Support Team, in which Lisa and I sit within the Office of Multilingual Learners. We have a lot of different trainings and professional development for educators. Like I said, a lot of my work is working with our school staff, our family-facing staff, and making sure that they have culturally responsive, sustaining frameworks and resources and tools. We also have folks who are working on college readiness for multilingual learners and L students, career readiness, and family engagement as well. And so there are opportunities for students, for families, and for educators to partner with us. And we hope that we are able to connect with many of you across the school year. We have a lot of different resources available. There's no shortage of resources, whether it's instructional, whether it's student or family facing. And if there's something that you think that your school would benefit from, we would love to come to your district or to your schools to partner and think about the ways in which our initiatives and our programs can help support our multilingual students and our immigrant students. So at the bottom, both Lisa and my email addresses are here. I will share this with John and with the team so that you all can socialize that as you see fit with your school communities. We're looking forward to continuing our partnership with all of you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Morita Zaman. Can you please put your information in the chat for our
Sure.
members, the community? Thank you. Anybody have any questions from the council? Anybody have any questions from this side? Now we're gonna have the presentation from Gregory Falk, panel for Education Policy Chairperson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. First, I'd also like to extend my condolences on, the recent loss of a student in your district. And I'd also like to compliment the CEC and the superintendent and for the staff for their very quick response in supporting the students. I know it's a tough time, and I think it's important and that you responded very quickly. And I think that's really is going to really to show that we have that level of support and community is really an important thing to communicate. So I really thank you for doing that. Let me share a little bit about the panel for education policy. By the way, I'm joined by a gentleman, Noah Simonson, who is also on the call. And, we're here basically to get people to become more familiar with what the work of the panel. I have to say, I was really listening very intensely to your conversation about AI, because actually this morning we had a meeting of the AI subcommittee and to look at what policies and how we should really make improvements to AI policy and safety and security is a topic that actually is going to come before the panel very shortly, and panel will be voting on that. The Panel for Education Policy, or otherwise known as the New York City School Board, really is there to address concerns and to address policy issues and vote on issues before the before the schools and before the community. And one of the reasons I was very interested in coming out and listening is for exactly that reason. I think it's important that there'd be a better bridge or a better line of communication between the panel for education policy and the local CECs, and that we're sharing information, that we're supporting each other, that we're communicating with each other. I think those are really that those are things that are really important. And so, for me personally, it was very helpful for me to listen to some of the conversations that were taking place, because as we vote, that's going to help to inform the votes that or how we address some of these policy concerns. So let me share with you a couple of things that are really immediately before the panel. One of which obviously is the whole question of AI security and data processing and cybersecurity. That's really something that's going to come before the panel very shortly. The other issue is around, and that's one, and this is one that's really become very prominent. That's the whole issue of bus service. The panel will very shortly be looking at the whole busing contract and how the bus service is performing. We're going to be holding a town hall meeting on school bus service later this month on the 28th. And we also have appointed a special commission to really review the quality of bus service. It's the number one complaint that we get from all over the city. And it was something that the panel felt would be very important for us to really address in a serious way. So we are really looking seriously at what are the concerns that parents have? What are the issues? How can we improve bus services? What are the things we would need to do to make bus service more efficient? We've heard some really are difficult, conversations from parents who talk about buses that either don't show up or they show up late. And we really want to sort of dig into that issue and find out what are the concerns that we are hearing as the CEC? What are the concerns that you need to discuss with us so that we can give a voice to that and really look to bring about some improvement? So again, this is hopefully not the last time. It's the first time, but it won't be the last time that we'll come out to the CEC. We want to make ourselves available. One of the ways that we have are attempting to do that is that for the first time, all the committees that the Panel for Education Policy has, we've now opened those up to non-members of the Panel for Education Policy. So if there are issues or concerns or things that you have an interest, we'll send that list forward. You can consider joining one of our panel committees. We think that it really would be a great value for the panel and for the local CECs to have better communication with each other. When you're passing resolutions, make sure that those resolutions get forwarded to the panel so that we're aware of some of the things that are going on and so that we can address those concerns. So, we want to open the door of better communication. I think in the past, there's been you have the panel for education policy and then you have the local CECs. And for oftentimes there wasn't a lot of communication between the two. So we want to really open that door, have better communication and collaboration and work more closely together. And then come out to meetings like this and just spend time listening and finding out what are some of the issues that are happening in the communities that we need to address at the level at the citywide panel. So that's it. Again, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for. We hope to come back and look forward to working more closely with you. And I thank you, Chair, for inviting us.
Thank you so much, Gregory. We have Tamara Stern. She has a question.
Sure.
You mentioned the committees, is there on the 10th?
Chair, could I ask if you could repeat the question because we're having a hard time. I'm having a hard time hearing it.
If you could repeat it.
Now?
A little bit better.
You mentioned the committees. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
How would you get information about attending those committee meetings? Is it on the DOE website?
If you're still there, we could put an email in the chat. The committees are listed on the website. Yes, so that's one way you can go onto the website. The panel also has a specific email that you can email us and say that you have an interest in any one of the particular committees. The committees range from a committee that deals with utilization. So when we have questions about school utilization, we have a committee on school utilization. We have a committee on engagement, just how do we connect better with the community. We have a committee on contracts that addresses contracting items that come before the panel. So if there's and if there's, we have one on early childhood. So if there's a particular interest area that you have and you think that's something that the panel should address, let us know, and it'll be something that we will address. We feel that, we're the school volunteers. We're members of the panel for education policy are volunteers. Members of the CECs also are school volunteers. And we think it's important for the volunteer community within the school system to begin to communicate together, work together, and support each other. And so this is really what this is an attempt to get out, to talk to you, to work together, opening up our committees, opening up our meetings, and doing things that could foster greater collaboration. So yes, the committees are open. We've had people suggest committees in areas that we should be working on. The whole question of bus service was really something that came out of the community and said, you need to really do something about bus service. We were hearing from parents who children had an IEP that said you should be on the bus no more than an hour, and these kids were sometimes on the bus 2 and 3 hours. So that committee really came out of the engagement we got from parents in the community.
Are the committees in person or virtual?
It depends. Some of them have really attempted to do in-person meetings. We run into issues around the state law, open meetings law, because if these committees are creating policies, there are some cases where some of the committees have to at least have a quorum of the committee meeting in person, and then there can be virtual attendance. So sometimes the committees have to operate in a hybrid fashion to be in compliance with state law. But that's something we can discuss. I know, for example, our utilization committee recently had a meeting and it was a hybrid. They had people who were online and they had a quorum of the committee, which was actually 2 people that actually met at Tweed and made that available for folks. So I guess the short answer is, yeah, they're very often hybrid.
And I apologize. I dropped my information in the chat, and we can always follow up too if there's other questions about the committees or
Yeah.
anything that we can additionally provide that would be more supportive.
Yeah, thank you. No, I was hoping you were going to jump in here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So again, let's, I know you have a lengthy agenda, but let's keep fostering this communication between the two of us, between the panel and between the CECs.
Do we have any other members that want to ask a question? Okay, we're gonna move forward. Thank you so much for everything.
Okay, thank you, and we'll stay if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes. So we're gonna do the president's report. So I figured that we could talk about Bully Awareness Month, because that's what it is today, for the whole month. So if you need to report any bullying, you can report it directly to the school. You could also do it through the New York City Department of Education online at newyorkcityenet.edu/bullying reporting. You could also email respectforall@schools.nyc.gov. You could also call 718-935-2288, or you could do it to 311. You could file it online, or you could do it on the 311 app. We had a bullying incident and it was taken care of. We reached out to Superintendent David Preto. He called his team. He did what he had to do on his end. So we all work together. So that goes for the parents, our council members. When we do get a bully report from our CEC email, we reach out to the liaison of the school, and that's what we do. And we forward it to whoever we have to forward it to, and we take care of it. So each council member has 5 schools or 4 schools. It all depends. And they're the liaison for those schools. So if you go to our website at cec20.org, you're going to see our pictures. If we don't have our pictures yet, you'll see our email and our name. And you could kindly email your liaison and let them know what's going on in the school. It could be anything. So we'll reach out and we'll help you out in regards to that. Now I am going to call on Tamara Stern. She's going to speak about something that she is really near and dear to. And Tamara, whenever you're ready.
Okay. As you've all noticed, there's been like a main topic at tonight's meeting, right? We've lost 2 children, one from our district and another one from Manhattan. And at this point, we wanted to make sure that we presented a lot of information to our families so they could be very aware of what's going on and they're able to reach out and get the guidance that they need to help them and to help their students and the staff. So at this time, we would like to take a moment of silence for the two students that we lost. We want to thank you so much for, Dr. Prato, we want to thank you so much for all the guidance that you were able to, offer McKinley. We want to thank the McKinley staff and, you know, for making sure that the students and the staff are properly taken, Ms. Noto and Ms. Geary. We know how wonderful your school is, you know, as a past parent who had 3 kids that went through that school, you know, and continually come back to say hi to the staff because they really love the school. It's a family-oriented school. Like, they treat everybody like family. And, you know, I know, like, this is devastating for the staff and the students and the family that lost their child. And we want to make sure that they have everything that they need to support the family and to make sure that the kids have the necessary tools that they need to be able to express themselves and the help that they need. So please, anybody that needs help, as a BP representative, I've also reached out to the borough president's office, and he will be reaching out to McKinley to see any assistance that they could offer the school and the parents and the students at this time. All right, we want to thank everybody for your support, and you know, we got to bring this topic and awareness more to our families, and we really have to get together and do something to make sure that this doesn't happen against another student.
Thank you so much, Samara. And Samara Stern is the liaison of McKinley School.
And I also wanted to add, since she was a senior, a lot of kids in that neighborhood, they did know her, and they going to the high schools in this neighborhood and other neighboring schools, they knew her. Because my nephew actually went to McKinley too, and he's an acquaintance of hers and friends of friends. So any kid in our neighborhood that needs mental health, they should reach out to their counselors.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. All right, next up is going to be a resolution. Tonight, we have one resolution on the agenda. Title of the resolution is going to be equip every teacher and staffer with a silent panic button system. So I'm the one that wrote this resolution in regards. So I'm just gonna go through it real fast. Whereas students lack direct access to cell phones in schools, so they can't reach any quick and easy help in case there's an emergency like a medical issue or active aggression. Whereas the welfare and security of our children should take more seriously, even financial institutions such as banks have regularly instilled silent panic buttons to guard money, and yet the lives of our children are pricier and require much more vigorous defenses, and so is our teachers and staff. Equipping the teachers and staff with a button system enables immediate and silent communication with emergency responders, ensuring swift action in cases where the teacher cannot speak or access a phone. Research shows that seconds saved can mean lives saved in active shooter situations, God forbid. Whereas the utility of the systems has been proven, a new panic alarm system in Appalachia High School in Georgia saved lives as killer shot was reported. Study participants were required to press wearable panic buttons on their ID badges, and this initiated real-time alert notifications to police, causing the shooter to be stopped within several minutes. Back in July of 2022, Governor Kathy Hochul signed into Alyssa's law, which is S713B/A 118, which requires schools in New York to evaluate the utilization of silent panic alarm systems as part of their school safety plan review and development. This legislation specifically acknowledges the fact that even the time saved during responses that would otherwise be used to save lives are minutes saved, New York State 2022. So with that being said, I believe that each school and each teacher should have an alarm based on the fact that it saved other lives in other schools, and Governor Kathy Hochul actually signed in a law but it's not mandated, but it requires schools to look into it. So that's why I wrote this resolution, and hopefully, the council would approve it. We will now vote on the resolution. Kevin, you want to take it? Can you take roll call vote?
John,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Wendy, yes. La, yes. Mei Fang. Mei Fang. So we speak her, Stephen.
Yes.
Fabiola. Tamara.
I'm gonna abstain, because I have a few questions.
Tamara, so.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Kelly. Ken.
Hi, are you calling me?
So you vote yes or no?
Uh, let me see. I will yes.
Ali. Yes. Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to vote yes or no about the,
Having a silent alarm.
He's a co-sponsor.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll say.
yes, someone votes yes.
It's in regards to the co-sponsor that you sponsored
Oh.
for the panic alarm.
Yeah.
Panic button.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you tally up the yeses and how many people you have now? Zero.
Okay, no.
Oh, we have 9 yeses, 1 absent, 1 abstained, and 1 excused. So the resolution passes. We're also going to send this to the education policy chairperson, which is Gregory. Yeah. All right. The first vice president would like to say something.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that we still have Indigenous Peoples' Day on Monday to celebrate, and we also have a Hispanic Heritage Month that's still going on, and a lot of our schools are doing great presentations and activities. And Diwali coming up,
Italian Heritage Month.
and it is Italian Heritage Month, all of October.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to go to the second public speaking session. Kevin, is anybody signed up? Anybody here that wants to speak? Please sign up and speak.
It's just getting that.
Tim.
Want to speak?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to call Tam Reed. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you, actually, to council members, particularly Ricketts, Money and Stern, for putting this information together tonight and for focusing on subway surfing and everything that brings up. We lost a student at my son's school 3 years ago, a middle schooler, and it's something that's been escalating. It is something that people are very silent on. And I think it's very multifold. I think it's access to mental health supports, to wellness supports. The kids that are vulnerable kids. And so I think that a lot of training needs to happen in the schools with families, with parents to get that information out. I was writing in the chat something like, I don't even know what Discord is. You know, like how do we break into our kids' phones and know what the hell is going on? Like I don't even know what these things are. And how do we do it without them knowing? And I'm kind of serious about that, you know. But other than that, I just wanted to say on the resolutions, I know I signed up to speak to that. I was hoping that there would be more discussion on it tonight. It seemed like it went straight to a vote. I was really wanting to hear like the different sides and sort of the intricacies of it. Just on the base level, it's like anything that keeps our teachers safe, our students safe. You know, it's a good thing. I think this could be actually it could cause some student populations harm. I do think that it needs to be implemented with like the utmost fidelity. We have, you know, Black students, disabled students who have disproportionately higher rates of incidents involving the police, involving being in crisis, being handcuffed. We don't want to see that. We don't want it to be used in some way, intentionally or not, on students who are vulnerable in the classroom in crisis. So just something to think about, Riccatoni, President Riccatoni, Chair Riccatoni, as you're moving forward on this, to really look at that training piece. And I would love it if you had a town hall or some sort of meeting where we could really like just dig in and make sure that this is used to actually help and not harm certain populations. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anybody else, Kevin? No? Okay, so we're gonna move to the approval of September calendars meeting minutes. They were sent to the council members in email. Kevin, if you could just put it online and just go through it. That concludes the meeting, the minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes, council members? If there are no changes, the minutes are approved without a vote. You guys want to take a break? Or you want to move forward?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
All right, so
This concludes our October CEC 20 calendar meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? All in favor? The meeting is adjourned. The next calendar meeting is November 12th at PS 971. Thank you for everyone for attending. Thank you, interpreters. We're gonna start the business meeting. We're gonna go right through. Good evening. Welcome to October CEC 20. Thank you so much. CEC 20 business meeting. Kevin, can you please take roll call attendance? Nah.
So,
Recording secretary
John,
here.
Elizabeth,
here.
Bennington, here, Nas, here, Chen, Stephen, Fabiola, Tamara, Kelly,
Yes.
Alina,
Yes, I'm here.
Kelly,
I'm here too, so.
Kevin, John.
Yeah.
Tonight, we have interpretation in Arabic, Mandarin, and Spanish. You should see these interpreters' names in the participant list, and they will post their information in the chat. They will now share directions for anyone who would need interpretation for the meeting. Could our Arabic interpreter please introduce yourself?
Good evening. This interpretation is going to be in Arabic. If for those who are interested. اللي يحب يستمع للترجمة باللغة العربية من فضلك لو سمحت عليك الاتصال بالرقم الآتي. رقم التليفون للحصول على هذه الترجمة 347-966-4114. بعد ذلك عليك إدخال الرمز 684-006-024 وعلامة الشباك. هعيد لك الرقم مرة تانية وتقدر تتصل من الهاتف للحصول على الترجمة على 347-966-4114. بعد كده دخل الرمز 684-006-024 وعلامة الشباك. شكرا وأهلا بكم. Arabic announcement is done. Thank you.
Can you ask them for the paper? I can sign it so I can leave on time.
Thank you so much to the Arabic interpreter. Can our Mandarin interpreter please introduce yourself?
大家下午好，晚上好。所以，如果您是家长需要中文、国语、普通话翻译的家长们，请您打电话给347-966-4114，请输入会议 ID 618-616-518，然后按井号键。我会再说一次电话号码，请拨打347-966-4114，然后输入会议 ID 618-616-518，井号键。那同时，请您把您的电脑或电话静音，这样子不会影响到翻译工作，也避免影响到其他听众。谢谢。Mandarin announcement completed. Thank you.
Thank you to the Mandarin interpreter. Can our Spanish interpreter please introduce yourself?
Hola, hola, muy buenas tardes, señoras y señores. En esta reunión de negocios también les ofrecemos un servicio de interpretación simultánea del inglés al español. Si desean escuchar en español, llamen por teléfono al 347-966-4114 e ingresen a continuación el siguiente código de referencia: 833-563-028, símbolo numeral. Repito, para escuchar la interpretación al español por teléfono, marquen el 347-966-4114 e ingresen el código de conferencia 833-563-028, símbolo numeral. Por favor, al llamar, silencien los micrófonos de todos sus dispositivos para evitar ruidos de fondo y ecos. Muchas gracias. End of announcement in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Spanish interpreter. Thank you. As a reminder to speakers, please try to speak slower than usual to allow our interpreters to keep up. Now we will share the agenda for tonight's business meeting. Kevin, can you please share the agenda on the screen? It was also sent to our council members prior.
Agenda.
Yeah. Nalin, can you please call roll call?
John,
Nothing there.
Here. Oh, shit.
Elizabeth,
Here.
Remy, here. Nam, here. Mayfang, Stephen, here. Fabiola, Tamara, here. Kelly, here. Candy, Ken, Alina, here. Kevin,
Yeah.
So on the agenda, it's gonna be old business. It's gonna be the approval of September business meeting. That's it. And then we have a new business, which is move money from the P card to the events. Kevin, so
I'll explain after. We'll do the minutes first and then we'll talk about that.
is there any changes on the minutes?
no.
If there's no changes, the minutes are approved without a vote. The minutes are approved. Thank you. Elizabeth, can you just pass it down to Tamara?
If you look at your screen right now, you see the budget. So we moved originally 900 to the P card. P card is just a debit card the CEC uses for certain things. It's pretty limited. We were gonna use it for the website, but because of some complications like tax reasons, we can't pay tax as a DO organization, and they won't tax exempt us. The previous website host was Wix. They said we can't be tax exempt. It's some type of rule they have. So we couldn't use their website service anymore. And I don't know if anyone's been to the website. It's Google Sites now, but it's basically the same thing. If you've been on the website, nothing's really changed. I updated it over the weekend. So it's basically the same, and it's free. So now we have $900 to move back into events. Yeah. So that's a vote you guys need to do.
Okay.
We could do it now?
Yep.
Yes, good.
We're gonna take a roll call, right?
Someone needs to call it, and then yeah.
Nolan, can you take a roll call in regards to changing $900 into events from the IP card?
Okay, so, just take a roll call
Yep.
for the vote for the peacock to the event. John,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Benny, yes, Na, yes, Mei Fang, Steven,
Yes.
Fabiola, Kamala,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Ken, Alina,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yeah, yes.
How many yes do we have?
8.
Okay.
We have 10 yeses.
We have 10 yeses. It was approved.
That's all I got.
Can you just give us how much money we have in the events now?
Yeah, it's right here. So events right now before.
Before our event coming up,
Yeah, 5650.
5650. That's how much we have in there.
And then we're gonna have another 900.
Another 900 on
Yeah,
top
so
of
that's
that.
6550.
Okay, great. All right.
I also want to talk about, when should we do the giveaway?
Oh,
So, because,
like the holiday giveaway, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's gonna be.
yeah, should we do it in?
Well,
November?
Elizabeth, you're in charge of that, so you have to speak to the other 3 people.
It was only me and her.
Who? Wenming?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So I
Now,
thought
do
we
you
had
wanna
to
get
get
involved?
approval to do the dates so that everyone could show up. For
holiday give back.
for the giveaway, right? We have to get approval from you guys on the budget.
It's gonna be an event for holiday event.
A
First, we were gonna
holiday?
do a book bag give back, but we didn't do it, so we moved it to a holiday give back for the community. So
So don't we have to ask, like, when we should do it, like November?
Or you wanna pick a, oh, you gotta pick a date.
Yes.
You guys, you wanna send a doodle poll around, or you wanna have Kevin do the poll?
You could do the doodle poll, and then, so how does it work? That we ask how much the budget should be, and then we could tell him what to buy?
Well, what do you need to? I know food is probably something, but and if it's a give back,
If it's a give back, then we don't really need food. We could just give stuff out, right?
And what are you trying to do? Are you doing like quotes?
Like do it in front of Ceplo Park?
Or do you probably have to get a permit to?
Do we
I think
do need a,
I think you need a permit. I think a school would be easier, maybe just a coffee and bagels, and that's something you can give out. And if you want, what do you think, like a coat drive or something?
no, like just give out,
Is
like,
that something else we're talking about then? Because you texted me or you contacted me about a coat drive. Is it the same thing or something?
no,
else?
that's something different.
It might be better just to combine both of them.
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
you think so? Then we could talk about it offline then.
Okay.
All right, good.
Which you want to do in November? I think December.
Pick a date then, I guess, since we're all here.
No, I think we should do it in November because December will be too many holidays, right?
Okay.
Okay. November is just a little too. I mean, if you.
It's coming right.
It's just around the
Yeah,
corner,
that's
so.
fine. If you want more time, December, to find location and choose a date. But if not, we'll do November. Or I could also send out a doodle poll with all dates November and December, and whichever
Okay.
gets the most.
Yes, that'll be good.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
And if you're gonna do a school, you would pick the school like how Fabiola and Tamara did. You would find a school that you would want. You would talk to Kevin, or if you wanted Kevin to do it, you could do it like that.
Okay, good. And it's only the middle schools and the elementary in our district. Okay, good. So I think
That's
that's
it, right?
it.
Then you can ask. So that's.
Anybody else have anything for the business meeting?
I'm for sure.
You guys good? Oh, Tamara, go
Welcome
ahead.
back, Rockford.
Yes.
All right, so what happened, so we're most likely gonna use the lunchroom, like how we did like a couple years ago. And, they said that how, we could use some of the schoolyard for parking. The sound system will be accessible to us, and the band is probably gonna perform something for a little bit. So like, that's all set up and ready to go. So, and we show up and like, you know, with the food and everything, like I don't know what time you order the food.
I ordered the food.
Okay.
And the merchandise. Food came out to 1,000. The merchandise came out to like 742.
Okay.
And so we're all set. The food's set to come there around 8:30. The event starts at 9.
Okay.
And I'll be there earlier so I can just set up everything.
Okay.
All right, so that was in regards to the welcome back breakfast that Tamara and Fabiola put together.
October 17th.
October 17th?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
But on that day, I have the SL meeting, so.
You could be excused for that.
Yeah,
if
you don't
wanted to
have,
come.
it's not mandatory.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, so like, yeah.
So just tell the SLT that you're going to your own welcome back breakfast, and they're gonna have to excuse you.
What time is it?
All right,
It's
9
from
o'clock,
9 to 11.
9 to 11.
Did you confirm with the school the time?
Yes.
9 to 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tawana, so when will you be there? So the event starts at 9, so when you want me to be there?
Well, I was gonna be around 8:15.
Did you say Wednesday?
Friday.
Friday.
It's a Friday. The 17th is a Friday.
So I text you later.
Yeah, it's next Friday, yeah.
When's the next meeting? November what?
12.
We're good?
But yeah, so if you guys are driving, you'll be able to, park. So you
Okay.
don't have to go around looking for park.
So, oh wait, I have a question. So I'm gonna pick up the waters for that meeting. I don't know if you guys want to do like apple juice and orange juice prior. We did the apple juice and orange juice. If any members want to bring like 2 things of apple juice, 2 things of orange juice, so that we don't use our funds. Because I'll just buy the waters. I'll buy a whole bunch of waters. But if anybody wants to bring apple juice or orange juice, you could do that. If you want to do that, just let us know now. So.
Just because last year Steve did it, because usually the vendors they charge $1 per water bottle, and then for the like little case of juice it's like $20. So last year Steve just bought it, and then we figured to save some money. It's way cheaper to just buy
Yeah,
it.
so if, maybe 4 people want to chip in and then put it together, and 4 people like that, we could do it like that. So
Or we could just
we
buy
have
it.
all the email addresses, we have the chat going on, so we could do it like that. All right. So that works. We're not going to spend $20 for a jug of orange juice. So that concludes our October CC 20 business meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned. Our next business meeting is on November 12th. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you for the interpreters. You are dismissed. Thank you for bearing with me with all the people that came to present. I think we did a good enough time. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody that needs to sign the?
We all.
Thank you.